Hello, welcome to part 3 of our virtual science fair workshop. This is part 3 of the topic on how to choose your science fair topic. My name is Dr. John Soule. I'm a physics professor at Weber State University, and this series is being hosted by the Ritchey Science and Engineering Fair at Weber State University in Ogden, Utah. I have judged in excess of 10,000 science fair projects. It is my goal to make your project one of the best ones that I will ever have the chance to judge. Last time, we were talking about what happens if you discover that someone else has already done your project. All right, well, that's okay. What you need to do is go ahead and refine your project. Make sure that you learn a little bit more about it. Find some area that you can do a different twist on. See what you can do about taking and filling in more information that they may have missed. And as I finished last time, you want to make sure that you contact the author of the article you found that is the repeat of your work and ask that author if she has any ideas on what you might do to develop a project that is related and is going down some interesting, valuable new path that they have discovered themselves. Alrighty, once you've done that, now you have to see what sort of resources are available to you to help you move forward. First of all, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. If you're pretty smart, there's a good chance your parents are pretty smart too, and some people in your family are going to be that way as well. So make sure you find out if there's anybody in your family who has done research in these areas or works for a company that does this sort of stuff. These are the sort of resources that are easy for you to access because they are close to home. Take advantage of those. But you also have access to other resources, including teachers, people who you know from community organizations that you're part of. For example, from your church or scouting group or some other group that you're associated with. Finally, you can contact the science fair operation at the local university if your university is hosting a science fair. In the case of Weber State, that would be using the email address sciencefair@weber.edu. And then that person will be able to help direct you to some resources you may not have thought about. But you can also try industry. If you have friends and family who work for companies that are doing research in a related area, they may have employees that can help you out in the area of your interest. Also, nearby government laboratories. Let's say you're interested in environmental science. Well, you can be pretty darn guaranteed that the local sewer facility are people who are very, very interested in maintaining high environmental quality and are going to be very knowledgeable on environmental issues. You can talk to them. You can also check with your local state and see about their particular resources, such as in Utah, for example, we have the Department of Environmental Quality. And you can check with those people for resources at that particular government agency, or if they have any ideas about people that you can talk to in either industry or at local universities. And then finally, another excellent place to go is to clubs. For example, if you're interested in astronomy, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be a local astronomy club. It probably won't have the word club. It'll probably be society, and it sounds pretty fancy. That's okay. That's just what they call themselves. And so the local astronomy society will have people who have built their own telescopes, people who do astrophotography, people who do a lot of stuff, and people who are very, very interested in doing astronomical things. And they can let you have access to telescopes. They'll let you come to club meetings, and you can ask people about topics that you're interested in and learn a lot more that way. And perhaps someone will be interested enough to help you out or will have the time to help you out. For example, in another area, what if you're interested in botany? If you're interested in botany, you can try, for example, the local gardening club. There's probably a gardening club in your neighborhood. Those people are people who have been doing this for many, many years, and they've been very carefully observing what's going on as they try to get the best plants growing that they can. They'll also be very knowledgeable about various places to get more information that you're interested in. One of those would be the local university extension or government extension agency that is there specifically to help people with growing things well. In today's modern age, we have access to the internet and we have access to actually meet with people on the other side of the planet. You don't have to have somebody who lives down the street from you to help you out. You can use Zoom and Skype and Microsoft Teams, all sorts of different ways to communicate with each other, where you can communicate and share computer screens, you can talk to people face to face by electronic means, and you can have meetings with somebody who lives in the Netherlands or in England or Australia. So they don't have to be somebody who's close at hand. You can find these researchers by finding good research articles, see Part 2's video, and email them and say, would it be possible for me to do a Zoom meeting with you, or whatever method you would like, for a few minutes to ask a few quick questions on this area, and maybe you can direct me in a way that I can move forward on my science fair project. Maybe they won't be able to get back to you, but if you ask enough people, someone will get back to you. Don't give up. Keep asking until someone responds. One of the recent Grand Award winners at the International Science Fair was somebody who had to ask 99 people before he found someone that would mentor him. And then he won the best and top project worth $50,000 in grand prize monies by just being persistent. So don't give up. All of these people are very, very busy. It's not that they don't like you. They're just simply overwhelmed with the amount of work they have to do themselves. So the key thing for you is to not give up and keep trying and email the various researchers. If you've got an article that's got 4 or 5 researchers on it, and the first one doesn't respond to you, well, email the second one, email the third one. Eventually someone will respond to you in some fashion. Just make sure you explain to them that you are interested in their field and that you're trying to do a science fair project and you would like to have a few suggestions on how to move forward, or that you have a few questions that need to be answered and you can have the best project possible. Alrighty. Finally, just remember, this is supposed to be interesting. This is supposed to be exciting. Don't get frustrated. If you don't find somebody who can help, don't give up. Just keep asking other people. Eventually, someone will step forward and say, oh, yeah, I've been looking at this field and I've been very interested in it. This is something that I would love to help you with. One thing to remember is that today you have more resources available to you online than have ever been available to science fair students in all of history. Take advantage of those resources. Remember that any good project is a lot of hard work, and that's okay. You don't get to be a really, really top sports team by just going out and practicing once. You become a top sports team by practicing over and over again, and you practice very hard. The same thing is true for bands. If your school band is really good, they're not really good because they got together 3 times and did something and then they went out and tried to see if they could do well in some competition. No, they practiced over and over again. Individual members practiced at home, and then they got together as a band and practiced, and then they worked and worked and worked on it to make sure everything melded together, and then they became an award-winning band. For you to become an award-winning science fair project, you've got to do the same thing. So don't give up. Work hard, and just like doing band is a lot of fun, just like doing sports is a lot of fun, doing science fair should be a lot of fun too, and make sure that you have fun doing it. Good luck, everybody, and this is the end of our 3-part series on how to pick your science fair project. If you haven't seen the first 2 parts, you may want to look online and see if you can find Part 1 and Part 2. This virtual workshop series is hosted by the Ritchey Science and Engineering Fair at Weber State University in Ogden, Utah. Have a great day.